Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. There was another explosive eruption at the La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadies shortly before midnight last night, on a day that pyroclastic flows reached the seas on the island's west coast. And scientists have noted a change in the seismic activity, with what was described as long-period earthquakes increasing in numbers. Long-period earthquakes are produced by vibrations generated by the movement of magma within the volcano when pressure within increases and the surrounding rock falls, creating small earthquakes, a precursor to the large eruption. The La Soufriere has been eruptive since last Friday, with a warning that it could go on for months. Deputy Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadies, Montgomery Daniel, said the agriculture sector is non-existent on the eastern side of the La Soufriere volcano, which erupted last Friday. Entire towns and villages in the northern red zone of St. Vincent have been evacuated, with an estimated 16,000 people now relocated to safer areas. There has been no deaths or serious injuries. Pyroclastic flows are superheated, ground-hugging flows of ash and debris that can travel at speeds of hundreds of meters per second, reaching many to tens to hundreds of kilometers from the source, destroying everything in its path. The extreme temperatures of rocks and gas inside pyroclastic flows range between 200 degrees Celsius to 700 degrees Celsius. In Trinidad and Tobago, even with borders closed, 70% of Venezuelan migrants entered Trinidad through illegal entry points. This was one of the findings in the International Organization for Migration's IOM Displacement Tracking Matrix (DTM) for 2020. The findings also tracked education, employment, and healthcare of the Venezuelan migrants to Trinidad and Tobago. A total of 950 Venezuelan migrants participated in DTM 2020 with the area, with the highest number of respondents was Arima, closely followed by Cuba, Tabiquit, and Talparo. An examination of routes showed that the preferred mode of entry in Trinidad and Tobago was via boat. With regards to the entry points in 2020, 42% of migrants entered through unofficial entry points. The surging COVID-19 outbreak in Brazil is increasingly affecting younger people, with hospital data showing that last month, the majority of those in intensive care were aged 40 or younger, according to a new report. The report, released by the Brazilian Association of Intensive Medicine, is based on data from over a third of all the country's intensive care wards. It found a significant increase in younger people being admitted to beds in intensive care units, ICUs. For the first time since the outbreak reached Brazil last year, 52% of ICU beds were filled by patients aged 40 or younger. It is not clear why more young people are falling seriously ill during the current wave of the virus in Brazil, but some scientists think the new P1 variant could be at least partly to blame. Other factors, such as the vaccination of the elderly and the behavior of younger people who might feel less concerned about going out and socializing, could also be influencing the data. And finally, Haiti's President Jovenel Moïse says he will do everything the law allows to secure the release of 10 people who were kidnapped by a gang in the town of Croix des Bouquets on Sunday. All but 3 of those kidnapped are Catholic clergy. Among them are a French nun and a French priest. They were seized on their way to the installation of a new parish priest. Kidnappings have surged in Haiti, with the Catholic Church describing the situation as a descent into hell. The kidnappers have demanded $1 million in ransom. A police source said that a gang calling itself 400 Mazoa was most likely behind the kidnappings. Kidnappings like that on Sunday have become increasingly common in Haiti, with some figures suggesting they have risen by 200% over the past year. That was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining.